Hi everyone, I promised I would go live today, so here we are. I'm just going to do a really quick project today, just to see how you enjoy doing our live sessions. I'm using a software called OBS Studio, so we'll be able to switch between looking at me, looking at Design Space, downloading some designs, and looking at our demo table. Just want to give you an idea of the kind of tag we're going to be making. Let me just grab these. So I have these cute little tags, and the whole idea behind them is so that everyone can then have a drawing on top. You can put them on both sides if you want, and then have grandchildren, children color them in and make them very personalized tags. They're really cute and easy to use. So what I want to do next is I'm going to take you over to place called Pixabay. Let me just click on our Pixabay here. I'm going to go over to the browser and we are going to go over here to Pixabay. As you can see with Pixabay here, I've typed in Christmas outlines. So what we want to do is sort of scroll through all of this and find some cute little outlines that you can download for free and put onto your tag. So here's a cute, this is a swine Santa skating. So I'm just going to click on it, and that looks pretty good. You'll notice that they are PNG with no background, so I'm going to just do a free download here. It's going to ask me the size. Well, I want the smallest possible. I'll just download that, and we'll upload it to Design Space in a little bit. So I've got one design we can use. So now I'm just going to go back here and see what other ones. Another pig one is a little complicated. The flowers might be a bit complicated. This tree one looks pretty good. Is this a single image? We'll find out. Yes, it is. Once again, we want a free download, and I'm going for the smallest possible because we're not going to be able to print large ones unless you want a giant tag. That's just not going to work. So we've got two we can work with, and maybe we'll find a third one. And see, it doesn't seem to have a lot. It says asking me to accept all cookies, so we can work with those two. And like I said, I don't want it too complicated. We've got a tree, there's a snail. I might put Christmas, we could do a snowflake. So let's just type that in. And I'm going to put outline because I just want outlines for this project. I'll just go down, and I don't like any of these, so I think we'll stick with the two. All right, I'm going to bring these back up into Design Space. So let me get over here to Design Space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my upload button here. Design Space didn't come right up. There it is. Upload. And I'm just going to upload the two images we have, and they would have gone into my downloads folder. I can only do one at a time, so let's start with the tree. We'll open that. I'm just going for complex and continue. There's no background to remove, so I can just apply and continue. We can do a print then cut or just a cut image. We're going to go for print then cut, but we're going to change it once we get in there. So we'll upload that one, and then we'll upload the second one that we had. Let's go grab that second one, which was the skating swine. Okay, complex, continue, apply and continue, and we are going for the print then cut image, and we will upload it. So we have two great things that we're going to add to our canvas now. So I'm going to pick on both of those. I think, yep, there we go. We've got them both selected. We're going to add them to our canvas. Now it's going to just depend. Let me just click away and just move these out of the way. Because we're going to make Christmas tags, you probably don't want your Christmas tags that large. You can make them as large as you want. Usually when you're working with a Christmas tag, you have them approximately 2 to 2.5 inches wide, and from top to bottom's approximately 5 inches. So let's make our tags. We're going to make all the tags right from scratch, and I'm going to make this fairly easy. I wanted a rounded corner rectangle, so we're just going to start with that. It's called a square. I'm going to come up here, I'm going to unlock the size, and I'm going to make the width 2.5 inches. And the height, if we're going to add a little round part, I'm going to make it 4 inches, so we have an inch to work with when we go to do the top of the tag. And I'll just lock that in place. Let's just change this color so it's easy to work with. I'll just go for a pale orange for now, and that's so we can see. So we get nice rounded corners at the bottom here. And at the top, we're going to add a piece so that we can punch a hole in it and make it quite easy. Now we can do that very simply. And I think what we'll do is use this oval. And we don't want it that wide. That is pretty wide and it's pretty tall. So I'm just going to shrink it down a bit just by dragging it. I'm going to make this a pretty simple thing. And that looks good. I think that's tall enough. Maybe I'll make it a little taller. So I'm going to unlock it and change it from 1.227 to 1.5. That looks a little better. Now I'm just going to move it up into place here. And I better lock that down. Alright, that looks pretty good, but I'm going to highlight them both, and this time I'm going to arrange and just center them horizontally just so everything is in the middle. Now, easy thing to do, I'm going to grab both of these, and we're making one thing here, so I am just going to click on weld. I don't need to undo it. Now we have this gorgeous little tag. The only thing left is we want a little circle in the center, so let's grab a circle. Just make it small enough circle, about 1/2 inch. Let me see, let's just do this 0.5 by 0.5, 1/2 inch. That seems pretty big. Let's make it 1/4 inch. So let's go 0.25. Great. Now let's just take that and drag it approximate down in the center. But once again, I want to make sure it's aligned horizontally, so I'm going to go center horizontal. Great, so let's highlight the both. And this time we are simply going to subtract. And now we have our beautiful little tag, and we can do as many of these as we want. Now, let's take our little image here. Oh, we're going to have to arrange him and bring him to the front. Now we do need to adjust him so that he will fit on the tag. And of course we want him to draw. So it says print then cut here, but we're going to change it to a pen. Perfect. And that's what we want for this one. I'm going to change the sizing on this one as well. Once again, we have to arrange it and bring it to the front. And just size it a little bit. We do want it to draw on the front. Okay, so I am going to change that one also from print then cut to pen. Nice. All right, now these are going to draw on top of your tag. So we're going to have to duplicate. So this is the master one. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key. You see a little plus sign there. Drag this over. Going to add our little guy here. Perfect. I think I might center him horizontally just to see what we get. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take that together and I'm going to attach them. And that's so we can print as many of these as we want. I always leave our master intact just in case we need to make adjustments. Going to bring that over, and I should have done the same with this. I should have kept a copy of it, but I did not. All right, let's arrange this and bring it to the front, and then I'm going to just take a copy of this and just move it over. We can bring our pig in later. All right, now that one looks pretty good. And that fits on there. That looks nice. Now what have we got? We have a little extra thing here. So is that attached to this? It is. For some reason we've got a little extra piece up here. Now in order to get rid of it, I'm just going to take a circle for now. I'm going to go like this. And then I'll highlight both pieces. And this time I'm going to slice it. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this piece and put it back here. I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to delete them. Now let's just put this down into the center. Now this piece is going to have an extra one too, so I'm going to delete it. And I'll grab a copy of it. Let's see if I can get that to center horizontally as well. Perfect. Okay, once again, I want to attach this. Great, so now we can decide what we want to do with these. These two I'm just going to take together. I am going to group them. You can group them up here. And then with this group, I'm just going to change the name. I'm just going to double click in here. I'm going to change the name to just Master Copies. And then I can just hide that. I'm going to take this guy here where it says attach, and I'm going to call it Swine Tag. And that's just so I know what it is. And then the top one, rename attach. I just double click there, and I'm going to call this Tree Tag. And that way I know what I'm working with each time. Now you can cut or do whatever you want with any of these, but I'm going to save these first. Now there's a little change right now to how you do with your collections. You'll notice that they are a little bit different now than what they were before. So I'm going to call this Simple Christmas Tags. Then I have to decide where I want these to go. Now I have a ton of these, but you can create a new collection. And embellishments, February, holiday, craft summit. I have a ton of them here. I'm just going to see if I have a December makes. Should have a December, November. Okay, let me just put it under November because this is still November. So I just have to click on the box here and save it. And there we go. We have our items all ready to go. Okay, so what we want to do next is we're going to make this. So I'm just going to click on Make It. Turn on my machine so that I have a connection. All right, my machine is on, that so I can select it. Now you can just do 1, 2, or take as many as you want over into Design Space. It depends on what you want to do. Sometimes I like to do things where I will simply cut them out on one pass and perhaps make them on another, but that's a whole other lesson. I'm just going to continue here. It'll ask me to select my device. It'll just take a second and you'll be able to see. I'm just going for a medium cardstock, and it wants a pen in the clamp and of course our fine cut blade. So we are ready to make this. So I am going to go over now to our Dembo table. Just give it a second and you're going to see all of the parts and pieces that we have on the go here. We are going to put everything together. Now, it's just going to take a second for the camera to come back on. And it looks like our image is in the way, so let me just drag it out of the way here. There we go. Now, as you can see, I have used quite a few different items here. I have pre-printed these because I found that it's a lot easier when you go ahead and you pre-print. Now, for the paper I used, there's a couple of ideas. You can use a plain white that has it plain on both sides, or you can use a pattern on one side for your tag and have them draw on another side. For our purposes today, all I did was cut these and have them printed just like this. Now, the whole idea behind that is you can hand color these, and I've just got a few little pens here, and I can just add sparkle and different things on them. I can hand paint these myself, or like I said before, you can have different ways of coloring it. This is just pen coloring right now. I'm not going to sit here and color them all in, but I want you to get the whole idea that that's what you can do, and it can be really personalized. Now, these are a great way if you want to use a watercolor or something else. And then the last piece, of course, I just have a little bit of string here. You can string them through. Now, you can buy rolls of this at Michael's, really easy. It's about $2 for a roll of this particular twine, and it's just very Christmassy. So that is what we are working on today, and I hope you had a great time with this and were able to do this for yourself and have a lot of fun with it.